Hey everyone, so today is going to be a little bit different. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a first pull request. Now I've gone into my computer as a guest user, so I'm actually developing this off of a fresh blank app. And so I don't actually know how this is going to go. It could take a lot longer than expected, so we'll get started now. The goal is, first off, I'm going to want to create a pull request on a GitHub repository. And so I'm just opening up Safari. It's never been opened before using this sort of terminal. And so I'm going to go to github.com/IARobinson. And this should get me to my GitHub repository. I've just recently created it. This will probably be something else in the future, but learn to be a useful programmer. So the goal of this course, or the goal of this video, is to enter your name into this thing. And so that means you're going to make your first pull request. Well, the first thing to do is you might have to sign up for GitHub. So to join GitHub, I'm just going to do that right now. So I'm just going to create the account. I'm going to go with a free account. I don't want updates because I don't like email, and I don't need help setting up an organization for this step. So we're doing that. I'm just going to skip this. Okay, cool. Where are we now? Okay, so now that I'm logged in, you can set your status, you can set up your email and everything. We're just going to go to github.com/IARobinson. This just gets you to my GitHub account. And then we're going to go to repositories, and then you can say, learn to be a useful programmer. So this is the repository. I'm clicking on here. It says that I'm the only person watching it, so let's see here. Okay, so the first thing, what I'm going to want to do now is clone this repository. So I'm going to click clone, and then I'm going to get this URL. And then from there, I'm going to move over to the terminal, and now I'm going to start working on the terminal. So if I type ls, we list out everywhere we are, and what I want to do is I want to be on the desktop. The desktop downloads movies and all this, so I'm going to change directories into the desktop. I press tab to autofill it. That's how I type so quickly. And now that I'm on the desktop, I'm here. What I want the folder to show up here on the desktop. And so I'm going to go git clone, and then this is the URL that you found here. So we're going to clone this repository. Okay, and now if you look up, it's here. And so this is the actual repository. Great news. And so I'm going to, well, there's a few ways you could do this, but we'll just use the terminal for now. So if we list it out, we'll see that learn to be a useful programmer is there. So we're going to go change directories, learn to be a useful programmer, and then ls. As you can see, there's the index and the readme. And so the goal initially is going to be to add your name to the readme. So I'm going to go open readme. This is going to open up this text editor. It looks like, because I'm using a new one, this text editor is this Xcode program. I generally use Atom, but I'm just doing this as if I had a brand new computer. And so what I'm going to do is change this. Instead of saying Ian as all alone, Ian with a different email for making the video. Okay, so I've made changes to this, and now I'm going to save them by pressing Command S. Now if I come over here, I can go git status. Okay, cool. So now there's something else. If you type in git branch, you'll see that I'm on the master still. And so it's important, before I start making changes, I want to change what branch I'm on. So I'm going to go git checkout -b, and that means I'm going to create a new branch, and I'm going to create its name here. And so I'm just going to call this one Ian Robinson in camel case, because this is mostly going to be in JavaScript. If I press enter, you'll see it says switched to a new branch, Ian Robinson. If you're doing this, you're going to want to make it your name. And then if I go git branch, you'll see that there's master, but the star is next to Ian Robinson. And so right now I'm on a new branch, and I can check my status. Now we've made these changes, but we haven't committed those changes yet. So I'm going to go git status. You'll see that the modified file is readme. So I can either go git add the readme, or I can say git add and then the period, which would, if there were a lot of changes, I would get all of them. My habit's to say just go git add period, because that gets all of the files. And so now if I go git status, you'll see that the README has been added. It's green, and that means that it's ready to be committed. So now we're going to go git commit -m. This is also if you're just going to have to commit to memory, because this is kind of this is how we work in when building web apps. So git commit -m means a message, and so I'm adding a message to the commit, and so that just means adding my name to the README. And because they're in parentheses, this is called a string, and so you can put whatever you want in here. It'll be a message that will show up on GitHub. And then I'm going to press enter. And then, okay, so this is an interesting part. Okay, this is cool. So what it's asking now is it's saying that we need to your name and email address were configured automatically based on your username and hostname. Please check that they are accurate. You can suppress this message by setting them explicitly. Run the following command and follow the instructions in your editor. So we can say, after doing this, you may fix the identity using that. Okay, sweet. So what we're going to do is we're going to git config global edit. This is a gits per user configuration file. Adapt your name and email. Okay, so my name, this is Vim. So I'm just pressing colon and Q because I can't stand working in Vim. So I'm going to go git status to find out where we are. Okay, it doesn't seem like there's anything there. So this is good news. Now, if I come back here, what I'm hoping is I can create a pull request. Okay, so at this point in the video, I got very confused because I didn't realize the important part now was for me to become a contributor. And so I'm going to go to the thing to become a contributor, you actually need me to grant you access to the repository. And so the way that I think that makes sense for this is once you add your name to the Get Started, you just come over to this pull request and then just leave a comment. You can see I left a comment as this other user. And then once you're here, I'll be able to go in and I'll be able to grant you access. And so let's flash back to the video where I grant access to this user. Oh, okay, so now I have push notification access. So once you're added as a collaborator, I'll be able to email you a link, and then once you click that link, you'll be added as you'll have push access to this. And so now I should be able to go git push. Set the upstream to the branch. Excellent. We finally did it. Okay, great. So now you notice I'm going to close out of here. This is the window where I'm the owner, and I'm going to open this window. Now you see IA Robinson, it just came up right here. If I were to have gone to pull requests, they'll have it here, and you can say compare and pull. You're just adding my name to the README. First commit. So this is like the first time that this GitHub account has ever done a pull request. So you create the pull request, and then this is great. So this is we've created a new pull request. This means that you have added a commit to this branch, and you've changed the file, Ian with a different. Now, if you do this, obviously this will be different for you. And so that's great. That's the first pull request. So that's a really large step to be able to take and to get through this. Obviously I can make a cleaner tutorial about this process, and I hope to do that in the future, but I honestly don't remember having set this up, because once you set it up once, you basically can work with people forever. And so let's do one more pull request. So git status, git branch. So here's the first step. If you're going to do a pull request, is you're going to go to the master branch. So you go git branch, and you see there's two branches here. There's IA Robinson and master. Right now we know nothing's changed, but let's switch back. So we go to git. We're going to switch from this branch to this branch, and to do that we're going to go git checkout master. And now if we go git branch, you'll see that we're on the master. And now we can just make sure that our master is up to date. So say I had changed the program a little bit, we can go git pull, and that'll make sure that our master is up to date with the existing master. And so now we know that we're up to date, And so now we can do another one. We're going to go git checkout. We're going to create a new branch, and we're going to say you're going to put your initial, or your, this is just like a structure of things. So this is the way I like to do it. Ian Robinson 1984 / this doesn't matter as much. It's just the name of the branch, but this helps us keep organized by using your GitHub username. And then after that, I'm going to do additions, initial additions. Okay, so now if I go git branch, you'll see I'm on here. And so now there's 3 branches associated with this account. So there's the master, there's this one that we've already done a pull request for, and then there's this one. And so now I'm just going to go, I'm going to open this. We have the README and the index file. I'm going to make a change on the index file. But I want to open, well, first off, I'll just list it in here. And so I'm going to open, and then I want to open it. I'm picking the program, Xcode, and I'm going to open the index. Okay, so now I have this opened up in a code and say, this is just the instructions on how to do this, and I'm going to add my name here. So, making the example video. Xcode or Atom, you can use whatever text editing software that you want. Now that I've made an addition to this, I'm going to save the file and I'm going to close it. I'm going to go back to the terminal, git status. You can see we've modified our index file. I want to add that, so I'm going to go git add the index HTML. If I go git status again, you'll see that it's green. And then I can say git commit. I'm going to add a little message. Add another bulleted list. I'm going to press enter. So this git status, now it's committed. If we go git log, we can see this is add another bulleted list. This is add to the index page. So these are the ones that I did while I was creating it. This is where the origin is. And then this is the head. This is actually where we are. So this is the new code. And so add another bulleted list is on here. It's logged as a commit. I press the colon and the Q to get out of that editor. And now what we can do is go git push. It asks me again to set the upstream master. And so I set the upstream master. And it's been pushed up. And so now I can, I'm just reiterating this for everybody because the process is a bit challenging at first. If we go back to their pull requests, you'll see we've got another one. And we can compare a second pull request. So I added another bulleted list. Just adding another list. I create the pull request. And that's it. The next thing for me to do would be to log in under the owner tab. And I'm going to look at the different ones. And you can see there's 2 pull requests in here. And so I can look at them. Add another bulleted list. I can look at the code, the file changes. I see that it's just Ian making the example video. And so I can merge the pull request because I can tell that that's the code that I want to be added. And then I'm just going to confirm the merging. And it says it's been merged. Okay, so we go back to pull request and it's not there. If we load the website, if we go here, you can see that nothing has been added here. But on the HTML file, we see that this is the example code that's been added to the program. And then so I can come to the code request. You'll notice right now the contributors has 2 bulleted points, but we made a pull request which added a name to it. And we can see that it's just adding another bulleted list to the file. And then so we're going to merge this pull request, and I'm going to confirm it. And now it's been merged. And so if we go back to code, we'll see there's no more pull requests. And we've got a 3rd contributor. And that's how using GitHub works. And it's a bit challenging to set up. I didn't realize the importance of requesting access to the repository. So that'll be a part of this. And yeah, if you guys are interested in learning to code, I'm basically going to be developing a free, as I develop this program, we're going to develop a curriculum for people who want to learn to code. And if you see this video when we're still early in the project, you can join, and actually I'll be assigning people jobs in which they'll actually be writing code the way that they would in a production, in a business environment. And so it's excellent practice if you want to learn how to code. So hope to see you guys. If you want to do that, just come over to the repository and request to be a collaborator, or just email me. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you found this video useful.